Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second round that I participated in ROOZ. This is a one-shot qualifying session. We're doing two 25% races this time around, so not the usual short qualifying followed by 50%. This is the sprint round, so a slightly different format. I'll let you guys enjoy the lap. So as you will have observed as we come around the last turn, not a particularly fantastic lap, well off my PB, but I'm sure everyone was, because one-shot qualifying is quite stressful and can never really get towards your short qualifying PBs. It was good enough for pole position though, which I was quite surprised about. Now the run to turn 1 is quite long here at Mexico, so I thought I might be in a bit of trouble. Bumped it up to Rich straight away to try and fend off ROOZ in his McLaren. Not really sure how aggressive he is, so we'll have to fend off the inside. He goes to the outside as expected. We blend back towards the racing line but don't quite get there. Went fairly deep into turn 1 but didn't matter, and I managed to hold the lead as Knuckles and the Red Bull came out of nowhere seemingly to take P2 at the time. ROOZ would soon get back up to P2 and start following us in this opening stint. And finally with the DRS at the start of lap 7, there was nothing I could really do to hold him back. He left the perfect amount of space there. Very good driving by ROOZ. Unfortunately, couldn't keep it up through the middle sector, missing some apexes, bit of a corner cut there, and it really put him offline, and that gave me a fairly easy attempt around the outside here. That was more of him making a mistake than me making a move, really. We ended up pitting. At the same time, I believe you can see the McLaren right in front of us. We went on to record victory once again, this time at a track that I'm very comfortable at, unlike last week. But that's not it. We are on the podium there, but we have 2 races tonight. What's the format for this, you ask? Well, it's a reverse grid, so we have to come through all this carnage, and there's plenty of drivers to come through to get back to the front. Stig managed to get past ROOZ for second right towards the end, so he'll be a driver to watch out for. Of course, we know he's a champion here in ROOZ and someone to be looked up to on this forum. Ahead, 5 cars abreast roughly. I didn't want any part of the shenanigans that I thought might occur at turn 1, so I backed off just to see what would happen in front of me. Surprisingly, there wasn't too much contact. Everyone seemed to get through, and at that point I started to try and move forward. Knowing that there was no damage, I was able to risk a little bit more in terms of contact.
Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up.
But I didn't want to hit anyone too hard, because obviously that's not what you're after at all. I was very surprised by some guys braking a bit earlier there than I expected, but I was given an opportunity down the inside, which I pretty much had to take. Apologies for running into Coxie there. Thankfully it didn't spin him out. And indeed, we got down the inside of him, so up to P9. Now around the outside there of Pepsi in that Red Bull, up to P8, halfway through the grid in 1 lap. Now if we look in front of us, the Mercedes goes for a move around the outside of a Force India, goes wide, and we take his position towards the next corner. I defend it just in case he wants to launch an inside attack. He doesn't know, and we're on to the back of Familia GTR, who appears to let us through. I'm not sure if he just missed the corner, but I think he may have let us through in that scenario, realising the first race's result. But now I had the DRS and a lot of momentum towards the next braking zone. Up to P5 we are already. You can see the next 3 cars, and we're trying to charge them down with the fastest lap. We're onto the back of Hatfield, who's attacking himself against Seth, I believe this is, in the Toro Rosso, and there's a tiny bit of lag there that could have been catastrophic, although without damage we don't know how bad that would have been, probably just a little bit of a spin. Hatfield across the infield twice, and we're going to have much better momentum than both, but where we're going to go, I back off, there was absolutely nowhere to go, and actually Nige might get a good run here as well. Back out of that potential move. Nige around the outside, great move by the Force India driver. I'm going to try and do the same thing. He doesn't leave us much room, but neither does Hatfield on Seth. There's 4 cars in a margin that really shouldn't be, and once again I have to back out of this. That was far too risky. We somehow stay in roughly the same order, as there's some argy-bargy in front, but Hatfield eventually gets through in his Renault. Now I'm attacking Seth, who I think started on pole, having missed the first race. I'm not entirely sure. But he makes a mistake there into the infield section, and we take 3rd position. At this point, looking very good, especially as we go past Hatfield here, because we know that the points will be added together for the 2 races. In fact, halved for the second race because it's reversed.
Complete, go now.
Added together to make the round score. And having won the first race, that was quite positive for us. Now, Nige made an undercut in the first stint much earlier onto these ultras, but we made a nice move there to get it back. Now, it's the last lap of the race, and I wasn't particularly concerned about passing Cart until I realised just how close Stig was behind. I was going to let Cart go on and take victory here and just follow him home, because I just needed to finish 2nd or 3rd to take the round. But looking back, Stig was very close. We lapped his teammate, but all of a sudden, boom! An incredible laggy collision is exactly what I've been trying to avoid, because I had detected that he was lagging a little bit for me, which is unfortunate.
The gap to the car behind is 10.1 seconds.
I think that was lag as well, because he braked very hard there. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see it. Usually I'd say that was a bit rude, but he's lagging, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. And across the line we actually take the position. We did lose out to a couple of cars that went through as we were both facing the wrong direction. I think that was Razor, Knuckles and Hatfield. Congratulations to Cart Dude. We do win the round, so I have to be pretty happy with that. I've been Jacko. See you next time in Canada.